We were walking down the street, empty street. We were just walking down, minding our own business. We're both headed home, and the officer is approaching us, and as he pulled up on the side of us, he didn't say freeze, halt, or nothing like we were committing a crime. He said, get the F on the sidewalk. I told the officer we were not but a minute away from the destination. He's at an angle where we're so close to his door and him that when he tries to thrust the door open aggressively, it doesn't come an inch out before it strikes both of us. His arm extended out the window, grabbed my friend around the neck. He didn't say step back or anything like that. He started to pull my friend into the window. So the officer's trying to pull him in, and he's pulling away from the officer. He never once attempted to grab for this officer's weapon. He's still holding my friend with one arm, and now with the other hand, he's pointing his weapon. The second time he says, I'll shoot, it wasn't even a second later before the gun just went off, and the officer let go. And that's how we were able to run at the same time. The first car I see, I duck behind for cover because I fear for my life. I'm scared. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why this officer is shooting his weapon at us. And I'm looking, I'm watching the officer. He's pursuing my friend now that he fired another shot. It struck my friend in the back. Then my friend stopped running. His hands immediately went in the air, and he turned around towards the officer face to face. He started to tell the officer that he was unarmed and that you should stop shooting me. Before he can get his second sentence out, the officer fired several more shots into his head and chest areas. I did not hear once he yelled freeze, stop, or halt. It was just horrible to watch.
Please don't shoot! I'm Michael Brown, we are all Michael Brown!
That's right. Ain't no shooting, son, I got your back.
You know, you hear a lot of things like on the news, and it all gets filtered up, and you can't really trust the corporate media, and independent media is kind of limited. So we thought it'd be cool to kind of come check out for ourselves, talk to a few people, and see what is happening right here on the ground.
These people will not stop killing us. It will keep happening. It will keep happening until we break from this system. It must stop.
I'm here because I saw reports on what was going on in Ferguson, and I was interested to see for myself what was happening. I was hearing a lot of different things, a lot of things from different sides, you know, a lot of information that was put forth by different people, a lot of claims, and I think that even just in the media there was sort of like this, like, oh, is that true, is that, you know, so I wanted to really come here for myself and see what was happening, and honestly it was starkly different from what I'd seen.
Well, what it really does is changes the tone of the investigation, or changes the narrative away from Michael Brown, the innocent teenager who was minding his own business when he was gunned down by police. You see him named as a suspect in this strong-arm robbery, captured on surveillance video. The narrative that goes along with this robbery, according to the incident reports, that Michael Brown, a considerably large man, 6'4", about 300 pounds, or 292 pounds to be exact, taking a stack of cheap cigars, Swisher Sweets, to heading for the door. The clerk, who we're now told is the owner, told him he's got to pay for those. And then you see in the video that he roughs up the clerk a little bit. By roughs up, I mean he shoves him out of the way and heads out the door. There was an accomplice, according to the incident report, someone named Johnson. Following that, just after noon, a call went out to be on the lookout for this individual. It was answered by Officer Darren.
Back from vacation because I am furious about how the shooting death of 18-year-old Michael Brown is being reported and how various people are reacting to it. Mr. Brown stealing from a convenience store and pushing the clerk around. Agitators call the release of the video a smear against Michael Brown and his family, further inflaming the situation. But facts are not smears. And this goes to Mr. Brown's state of mind on the day he was killed.
A lot of people are trying to make this, Dana, about black and white and trying to make this about race.
This is part of this effort to make it everything about race.
Is this a story about race? Do we know that?
I think it is playing the race card, and I think it's disgraceful.
The only racial divide that is created here is being created by the race baiters.
You know who talks about race? Racists.
When you're in a shootout, you're firing away, you're stopping, you're shooting the torso, you're trying to stop somebody. I don't know how he got hit in the head, but bullets go that way. He was trying to stop this guy. And here's my most important point, and Bernie will stand up for this. They're coming back. They're coming back. These extremist Muslims are coming back, and they're going to do something against the United States, and you can't fight with peace shooters.
Think of it this way. If you had a scene in Connecticut or one of these schools or a theater where you have these terrorist events or attacks on the community, mass assaults and murders, you need those vehicles to respond.
But Brian, I'd like to get to the...
And also you have a school shooting, too. I mean, you don't know if it's going to be the Columbine thing with multiple...
They have to be used prudently.
Across the globe, I mean, we're being seen and being watched by people globally right now. Talk to us about what police are saying to you, why they're using this strategy, why the use of tear gas, stun grenades, why not perhaps use water cannon? At least it's not going to have the same sort of effect.
I think the entire media has been bad.
No, I think what you're speaking about is intentions. And I don't think, especially an organization like CNN, I don't think the intention is to not be fair or balanced. But we live in a world that's run by white supremacy, and that's the narrative and language of the oppressors taking over. On CNN.com right now, you have a story up that says, Ferguson calm until bottles fly. Well, that's inaccurate, because I was there that night, you know what I'm saying? And that's not what happened. Well, the first thing in the story it says is police chased down men.
Well,
let me finish my point.
That's not what happened where you were. But
I was there, right there, with the article, the situation he was talking about. I was right there. That's what happened.
But that's not what happened.
Let me finish my point. That's exactly what happened.
I'm going to let you finish your point.
That's exactly what happened. No, you're not, because you're talking.
Yes, I am. I'm going to let you finish your point.
No, let me finish my point before you talk.
Okay, let me
finish my point before you talk.
I want to address something you said.
Can I finish my point? We don't have to have an interview if I can't talk. If I can't talk, we don't have to have an interview.
Okay,
for real, can I finish my point though? Well, you're interrupting me and telling me you're going to let me talk.
Where you were, and police say you're not seeing everything that happens that goes on. You can't see everything that happens.
I'm only telling you my perspective. Can I finish telling you my perspective, and then you can respond? Because that's how you have a conversation.
I understand that. In order to have a conversation, you have to listen to me as well.
Okay, well, let me finish saying what I have to say, or else I'm going to leave.
Okay.
Either I can finish saying what I'm at.
You say what you have to say.
I was out here from my perspective.
Go ahead.
All right, for what I saw with my own eyes.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay, and I was there on the ground. All right, that's not what happened. The CNN reports on your website says it chased men down. No, it chased men, women, and children down. The CNN report, the headline says, calm until bottles fly. They don't mention the bottles in the article. In the article, you read 5 pages, there's no mention of the bottles flying. I saw the bottle fly. You know when the bottle flew? After the cops told me they're going to blow my effing head off. After the cops, I'm not done. After the cops put on riot gear, put up their shields, and took their batons out and lined up on the streets. And then when they got into position, a bottle comes out of a peaceful protest. That don't make no sense. So what I'm saying is the headline should say, is calm until the cops agitated the people.
Can I talk?
And that's what the headline should read.
Okay.
And it seems it's not only the residents of Ferguson who are under attack, it's journalists as well. 2 reporters covering the unrest in the city were arrested and physically assaulted by police last night. Those journalists were Ryan Riley of the Huffington Post and Wesley Lowery of the Washington Post. The 2 reporters had been working in a McDonald's not too far from the scene of the incident when a SWAT team stormed into the restaurant and demanded that everyone immediately evacuate. Soon after, the 2 journalists began recording the police activity, and here's a look at some of that footage.
Let's go.
I'm working on it.
Stop videotaping. Let's grab our stuff and go.
Someone to right to videotape you, sir?
Hurry up. Let's go.
Please don't leave or go to me.
Let's go.
You see me working. Please do not tell me not to use my personal.
Time to go. Let's go.
Please not wave a gun at me.
We're down about 45 seconds. Let's go.
I can't see how it could be a misunderstanding. First of all, this is oppression 101. If you want to control the narrative, you control, first of all, the people, the protesters on the ground, and then you control the people who are recording what the protesters on the ground are doing. Just as you control, say, eyewitnesses who might have camera phones, et cetera, who are there at the point of contact between the officer and young young Mr. Brown, who was apparently shot with his hands up, according to all of the witnesses. And they've seized camera phones to that effect. So you want to control the information, you want to control the narrative. This is a good way to do it. And what we've seen here are journalists being, basically, you can control the time, place, and manner of access to the press.
There are a lot of eyes watching and cameras watching, and I really think that the behavior of the police has changed because they see people are calling them out. So, I don't know, I mean, I still, again, have sort of questions, like, even if someone was doing something, like, why are they doing that? Why are they acting like that now? Why is that different from how they acted before? Did they all of a sudden change, you know, and think that what they were doing was wrong, or was that a supervisor saying, hey, you guys can't do that anymore, you know? What was it? Yeah. So, again, you know, you come here with questions, and I feel like you just kind of get even more questions.
It's like remarkable because the same number of people sort of are around. Like the big rallies haven't happened, but even the huge rally that happened, the national rally, there were so few police that were present. It was incredible.
I want to thank BBC, Al Jazeera. They may not be here today because they said everything was all right in Ferguson. Okay, but I want to thank them. RT TV, that's Russian TV. CT, that's China TV. I want to thank them because they made your struggle here in Ferguson known all over the world. They broadcasted in all of those countries. I want to thank CNN. You know, we have problems with the press because sometimes press take positions. And when this struggle started, the press didn't take a position. And the position was in favor of the police. But once they saw the brutality of the police, once the police told them, you gotta go home, arrest the man, said, what are you arresting? One of the press people said, what are you arresting me for? Because you won't listen. And when they arrested them, the next day, the press turned on them. And then they began to publish across the country how these police forces have been armed like an army, sitting and waiting to vamp on the minority communities across this country. So we're saying to the press, thank you for the coverage, thank you for the exposure, and you have to be balanced. Don't let no cabal of people give you a direction that your press story has to go. Don't let the Justice Department come in and divide our struggle by we want to meet with a select group of people. No, we want to meet with everybody involved in the struggle. Don't let nobody tell you that, well, the black community needs some healing. Hell, the racist white community needs some healing, and that's where you should be at.
When Mike Brown was just a young man laying in the streets, dead for 4 hours, it was me, a couple other faces out here, and that's it. Wasn't no CNN, wasn't no Jesse, wasn't no Al, wasn't none of that. We gotta start valuing black lives.
They put all of us in the same category as the that was out here looting. That's what it is. I've been getting interviewed every day. Ask me, what about the looting? What about the looting? I came there for and we don't care about the looting.
All these cameras and light don't mean nothing. Guess what? When all the fame gone, CNN ain't coming no more, it's us out there. And we fight and dying every day high as fuck. So respect us, love us, unite with us. And we gonna go in that front line dying. We all Mike Brown. We Mike Brown.
We gotta begin to take out our cameras and begin recording every time the police stop us. We gotta start recording and sending. We put together a data collection on these racist police officers as they stop us. So we have a website that we're developing, and we'll let you know on the website. So we'll be collecting data as relates to these police stops. That's it.
I don't care where you at, who you are, it's nothing nice to be discriminated against. It's nothing nice. You hate on a person because of their economical standings, their color, or their beliefs, you know, and that's not cool because we human. You know, you can't knock the next person. You can't judge the next person. We all got problems. Some just hide them well than others. And we gonna stand up for what's right, and it's because at the end of the situation, it was a young guy who got killed unarmed in the middle of the street. I don't care what color, race, nationality, or creed you are. That's not cool. That is not cool to just get your head took off, you know, unarmed.
The Ferguson Police Department
And many of the municipalities around in St. Louis County, in North St. Louis County, feel that they have the right to pull over African Americans and anybody else of color. They'll first ask you for your driver's license, insurance, and registration, and as soon as you give them that, then they're going to ask you about drugs and alcohol and other things. And I thought it was supposed to be a traffic stop. And they feel that they can do this to anyone, at any time, anywhere. If they see more than 2 black men in a car, that's going to give them reason to pull them over. That's the reason to pull them over. Because they are under the assumption that all black people do is rob and steal and sell drugs.
You know, we paying taxes. I'm a taxpayer. I go to work. I pay my taxes. So if I'm paying taxes for the police to kill us, then why are we paying our taxes? We gotta stop. We gotta stop them from actually taking our tax money and using it the way they want to. That's the best way to support.
What I'm hoping for is change. And change on how the police department, they're supposed to protect and serve us. Not to harass us, not to arrest us, not beat us, and not kill us.
So what do you hope will come of this?
I'm hopeful that he'll be indicted. You know, it's what happens when a community is like grieving, and we are all part of the grieving process. Like that is what is happening in Ferguson. I'm hopeful too that there'll be systemic change here for a group of people who feel like they've not been heard and that they are invisible structurally.
So what do you think that systemic change looks like in terms of the police force?
I think it is a police force that is reflective of the people they serve. I think that it is a police force that has transparency in how they deal with complaints. I think that it is elected leadership who like understand the communities they serve in a way that is not present, I think, here right now. And I also think that there's like a real place for the millennial generation to have an impact here structurally, like to be in structural leadership and to be empowered differently in a way that is currently not present.
We want freedom, and we have black power. You see black power here today, and we must use it. We must use it. You must turn to the youth. We have forgot what got us here down here today, and that was the youth uprising. It was the youth uprising. They are taking us out. 6 and 7 been killed since Mike Brown. They won't stop. They won't stop. Wake up. Wake up. Use our strength and numbers and come together and break totally free from this system. We don't need it. The Constitution never worked for us, and it never will. It never will. It never will. We stand in power with solidarity with everybody who really feel that they want to break free from this system. So get together, y'all. Black power. I am a revolutionary.
For the community. We're here organizing for the black youth. We're here organizing for the struggle, for the liberation of black people as a unit. While you're sitting here looking at me, make sure we're reflecting on ourselves, saying what can we do to make sure this does not happen again. Thank you.
I do this for my nephew. I do this for the future generation. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Ferguson needs to be dissolved completely. Every police officer fired, including its chief.
Our youth involved. We must put them in positions of leadership. We must help them. It says old men for counsel and young men for war. We gotta give them the counsel and make them the warriors. They can make it happen.
We gotta be about action. We ain't talking about just coming here and protest. And for those brothers and sisters who want to go to the police station, we are going to the police station, okay? Thirdly, we gotta start spending our money, so we gotta hit some of them like they hit us. So our first target will be Burger King. Why Burger King? Burger King is a Florida-based corporation where Trayvon Martin was murdered. We need to send a signal that we understand Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown, and all the brothers and sisters that have been shot down in the streets are one and the same. So we need to deal with them, okay? So
lot that college students can do and really bring to their campuses. And in the past, you've seen college students protest. They protested Vietnam War, protested during the Civil Rights Movement. I think that there, a lot of kids, some people grow up sheltered, but when you're in college, you have access to so much information that you can really educate yourself. And I like to think that a lot of people are idealistic and passionate, and I think that a lot of messages can spread that way. So I think it's one group, but also just, young people educating themselves. As far as solidarity, any activist group really, I feel like there's a sort of common goal, I would like to think. So.
Don't just show up and show your face and be seen. If you're coming out here, come. Talk to the people. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself around good company. Get to actually know what's going on out here. Let us know your story. Because we all in this together. We human. At the end of the day, we breathe the same air and we're going to bleed the same color. No one's better than the next person. We are living to die. And we all dying to live.
I have hope. And if you give up hope, all is lost. And we need to come together as Americans, not just black people or Asian people or Hispanic people or Native American people. We need to come together as a whole human. There's only one race, and that's the human race.
So the movement's really picking up momentum. It was incredible to see just how family friendly it really is. People are coming out with their kids, older people are coming out, younger people are coming out. It's everybody. Everybody is involved and everybody has, very strong investments in the community, and they just care about the direction that it's going. And it's very clear that they've just had enough and are very determined kind of to see positive change.
This is the time to bring our village together. This is the time for all our black women to stand behind our black men. I kept asking the question, where are the women? Where are the women? And now we are here. Because we have been the voices. We have been the ones that have been chanting, grabbing our brothers' hands and bringing us here. This is the time. We need to be here.
Our older generation said we shall overcome. I say we're not taking this no more. It's senseless. It don't make no sense.
The thing that I don't know if the national media is picking up really well is that this has brought so many people together that never would have been together before. That this has been a real community building event, and that people have been able to sort of redefine love in the midst of trauma, which has been really positive. And tonight is a great example of people who don't necessarily have a natural link or bonding and having really robust community conversations and loving conversations with each other in the middle of this moment, which is really powerful.
You have anything else to add?
No, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. Tired, but hopeful.